Recording? Okay,
Right.
wonderful. Hi, Erin. Welcome. I'm
Thank
Ann
you. Thank you for
Smith-Tate,
having
the
me.
president of the Shawnee Chamber. And on behalf of the Board of Directors and our Government Affairs Committee, I want to thank you for taking time to participate in our candidate forums today. We know that running for office can be stressful and very time consuming, so we appreciate your commitment to the Shawnee Chamber and the greater Shawnee business community. And we believe here at the Chamber that when we work together as a city and the Chamber and private businesses, we can grow faster and stronger. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to you and kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and what makes you qualified to hold the position of council member for the city of Shawnee.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Erin Aldridge. I'm running for Shawnee City Council in Ward 4. And I bring 18 years of experience in the construction management in project leadership. I oversee complex projects from pre-con planning through execution. And in my work, I've learned to balance budgets, schedules, and then every diverse stakeholders and their needs. And I feel like these skills are directly transferable to city governance. And beyond my professional experience, I've been deeply involved in community service through Junior League, my daughter's schools, and then some youth sport programs. So I do understand Shawnee's needs from a professional and a resident perspective, and I'm committed to using that insight to make informed, practical decisions.
Wonderful. So one of the main priorities of the chamber is to attract new investment into the community. And we do that through a variety of ways, but primarily through our divisions of economic development and Visit Shawnee. So my next few questions are about economic development in the community. So what role, if any, do you believe that the city should play in economic development to bring jobs and capital investment to the community?
I feel like the city should act as a facilitator and partner for economic development. And that means creating a predictable regulatory environment so we know how codes are going to work, we know how permitting is going to work, and then investing in infrastructure where it makes sense and supporting opportunities that attract those jobs and that capital investment. At the same time, I do feel like there has to be a balance, and the city should ensure that developments align with our long-term vision and they serve our community.
Wonderful. And what would you say are Shawnee's competitive advantages as it relates to location of a business or commercial development?
Shawnee offers a strategic location. I think at the top of that list, we have proximity to major highways. We're close to Kansas City's urban core. And then we have neighboring industrial hubs like DeSoto, who's kind of booming right now. We have strong schools, we have established neighborhoods, and a growing talent pool. And that, I think, makes us all attractive to businesses. So our balance of quality of life and then our accessibility is an advantage to companies looking to relocate or expand.
Wonderful. And you kind of touched on it in your remarks there, but our not just Shawnee, but our neighboring communities like DeSoto are seeing a lot of growth in the Panasonic plant as well as the expansion of Merck. How do you see Shawnee taking advantage of the ripple effect they will have on the surrounding communities?
Yeah, that's funny. That's one of the first things I asked when I was even considering running for this position is how can we take advantage of this opportunity we have? And we can position ourselves as a convenient, business-friendly locations for companies that want support or benefit from the workforce that we already have here and the supply chains that employers bring. That means we need to maintain our commercial zoning and then leverage partnerships. And then again, going back to infrastructure, making sure that it can accommodate that growth while preserving the livability of our community.
Wonderful. And how do you view the role of public-private partnerships in developing the future of the community?
I think that they can be a powerful tool when they're structured to benefit the community. In fact, I'm one of my current construction project is a public-private partnership with the city of Kansas City, Missouri. But Shawnee should ensure that any incentives or collaborations provide a clear return for our residents, whether that's job, infrastructure improvements, or economic activity, while minimizing any risk and maximizing long-term value.
And what tactics would you employ to be certain that you're getting a balanced view of partnerships and issues in the community between, the businesses and the citizens and not just hearing the squeaky wheel?
Yep, and I think that's with proactive engagement, and that means attending community meetings, holding listening sessions and using surveys to reach a broad spectrum. I've had a lot of success in surveys and sending them out via text message. It makes it really easy to get it done and have a voice. And I think the goal is to make sure we hear from everyday citizens and not just those who are the loudest. But data-driven decision-making and regular dialogue is a balanced perspective.
A top issue for all employers, public or private, is the need for qualified workforce. What role do you see the city of Shawnee playing in attracting qualified workers and/or addressing some of the barriers for employees, such as childcare and attainable housing?
Yep. So I think we can play a supportive role by collaborating with local employers, schools, workforce development programs, along with the many unions in this area to ensure we have skills and opportunities they need. We do need to address barriers like childcare, transportation, attainable housing. Attainable housing is on the top of my list as an issue in Shawnee. And I think by creating partnerships and targeted programs, we can help attract and retain those workers and improve quality of life.
Another part of that quality of life and part of that is the attractions and the amenities in the community. And we address that somewhat through our tourism division. And that attraction of those outside dollars in the form of tourism is a great way to stimulate the local economy. If you were elected, how would you work to attract new visitors to Shawnee?
Yeah, I think tourism dollars are vital for our growth. We do have unique cultural and recreational assets. We've got our great downtown historical district, as well as our many parks and all the events our city puts on. So I would work to enhance marketing efforts, support the small businesses in the hospitality sector, and then encourage events that draw regional visitors, like the mini sporting events, like the World Cup. Taking advantage of all those visitors coming to Shawnee. Yeah.
Wonderful. And what would your approach be to working alongside other council members that you may or may not always see eye to eye with on policy decisions?
I think at the end of the day, we all have to remember that we all have the same goal, that we want a city that works for everybody. So I think collaboration is essential, even when there's differing viewpoints and trying to find the things that we can agree on. So focusing on listening, identifying shared goals, and then finding practical compromises. I think that I have to do that a lot in my day-to-day job is there's many stakeholders. We all have a different way of getting to the goal, but the goal is the same. So just approaching it with respect and a solutions-oriented mindset.
Your district has within it the Midland Entertainment District,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an area of interest for the entire community. How would you support redevelopment of this important center in Shawnee, and what would be your vision for the future?
Yeah, Ward 4 has all 5 hotels, so I definitely see that Midland Entertainment District as an opportunity for revitalization and growth. And I would love to see what we've done with the downtown area kind of move west. So I would definitely support redevelopment, engaging residents and business owners and kind of what that looks like. Encouraging mixed use development, and then again, leveraging, if it makes sense, a public-private partnership. My vision, I guess, is a vibrant, accessible destination that people can gather and create that sense of community.
And finally, there is a conversation out there about the difference between being a livable city and a lovable city. What, in your estimation, is the difference, and how would you work to make Shawnee a city that businesses and residents love?
Yeah, I love this question. I've started using this when I'm out talking to voters, but I think a livable city, it meets your basic needs. So it's your safe streets, it's your reliable services, it's making sure the roads are plowed and the roads are not full of potholes. But I think a lovable city goes beyond that. It what makes people proud to live here, and it's community engagement and aesthetics and the amenities that make people want to live and work and spend time here. So I would focus on thoughtful development, preservation of community character, and then creating the opportunities for connection between businesses and residents.
Wonderful. All right. That's all the official questions I have for you today. Is there anything else you would like to take the time to say right now about your desires for Ward 4 in the city of Shawnee?
No, I think we covered a lot of it, but if anybody wants to learn more about me, my website is erinaldridgeforshawnee.com.
Wonderful. Thank you again, and good luck out there on the campaign trail.
Thank you.
Great job, ladies.